Hey guys, welcome back to the Twin Team Podcast. I'm your co-host Caroline.
Co-host Cammy.
And today we're getting on the spooky side.
Spooky.
Spooky. But yeah.
Spooky, scary skeletons. My favorite thing to talk about. And it's not even Halloween.
It's not. But you know, this is good practice.
Yeah.
This is really good practice.
Yeah.
And last episode we did kind of get into we accidentally slipped into a little bit of scary territory.
Things that scale you, things that go bump in the night.
Right. So, guys, if you're scaredy cats like us, don't watch this podcast at night. Okay, you can come back in the morning. It's okay.
Watch it at night.
No,
if you watch it at night because we're not spooky scary girls, or she's not spooky scary girl.
Not me, no.
I'm spooky scary girl.
It's not that dark outside, so I'm not scared.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about it now.
We talk about it now, but
if it was a tad bit darker outside, she'd be like, "No, Kimmy, no."
I'll be running.
No, Kimmy, no.
I'll be running from the bathroom to my room in the middle of the night.
She would call me. She'd call me at 3:00. Kimmy, I'm up. Kimmy, why am I up? Kimmy, it's a haunting hour,
bro.
She's it's a haunting hour. I'm like, well, are you sure you're actually up? Maybe it's like an Insidious thing. Are you sure you're calling me? Or you calling me from beyond?
And then I'll have to hang up on her ass and never call her again. I'll be like, I don't know who that was on the phone that day. I don't know who that was on the phone that night.
But it was not Kimmy. Yeah, so we talked a little bit about liminal spaces. Actually, editing Caroline put some pictures of liminal spaces and why we're scared of them. Boop. There's one.
I'm not gonna do that.
And boop. There's another one.
I'm not gonna do that.
And wait, third one.
Another one.
You gotta at least put the dreamscape up one, the back rooms one. That's a scary one, and then put it an abandoned mall. Those are 3 pictures. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
I already gave you
just to get the mood going.
Yeah, it's right. Look. It's early in the episode, so you don't have to do it later. You don't have to wait till later. I did it early, okay?
Yeah,
that's
sure.
It.
We'll see about that one.
You're lucky we don't have a green screen behind us. Before I say, put that shit behind us.
We'll see about that one, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want this episode for us to get into the spooky scary.
Yeah. Also, this is the 4th episode.
Yes, it is.
Anyways, really quickly, shout out all my LGBTQ plus people because it is June.
It's almost June.
It's June.
Actually, it is June.
It's
June.
Yeah, so hey, happy month. We're gonna do a whole bunch. That's where I want to get into the more gimmicky costumes. I told her that I want to wear a little bit more costumes, vibe it up a little bit. Right. So we're gonna do that for June. We're just gonna figure out what we're gonna do for that June. Yeah. But we're gonna have to pre-record for fucking July. Yeah. God damn.
All right, guys.
Yep. Anyways,
so I want to tell something
spooky, scary.
Ooh. Spooky.
Ooh.
So I wanted to know, you don't have any ghost stories, do you? Personal ghost stories?
Do I have I have one.
Okay, but I have 2, but they're not the scariest thing. They're just
I have 2. I just realized I have 2, and those 2 instances scared me so fucking bad. Where wow, my heart just dropped. That's funny. My heart literally said, whoop.
It's still dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll start. So as we know, when I was younger, I did live in Georgia. And,
that's a scary ass state.
It's kind of like Limerence, not Limerence. What's it called?
Like a swamp.
No. What's it called?
Liminal.
Why do I
liminal spaces? Because you can't say liminal, can you?
I can
say it.
Liminal.
So I don't know why you keep forgetting.
I don't know why either. But it's Georgia, where we were, which is McDonough, Georgia, in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of like
foggy swamp.
It's it's a lot of trees. Ooh. And a lot of land, a lot of space, in between.
Ooh, I don't like that. So
you
guys have fog and mist and stuff.
It's just very, and it gets really cold. So yeah, it's your little cul-de-sac would be you would drive down a long road or drive around, and then it'll be cul-de-sac of houses. You go in and it's a cul-de-sac of houses, but then behind the house is a whole forest of trees, and right. So when I was younger, my first earlier memories were in Georgia, and I remember we were in a 2-story house, and I remember I would be upstairs in my room, and I would hear my mom call my name. She'll call me to come downstairs, and I remember maybe 2 or 3 instances of this where I would run downstairs and I'd be like, yeah, and she'd be like, what? I'd be like, you called me. And she's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you did. And she's like, no, I didn't. She's like, leave me alone. I'm like, okay. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I would like go back upstairs, go play with my toys or whatever. I never saw anything like wrong with this scenario. Like, and it would happen again. And she'll call me and she'd be like, Caroline. I'm like, okay, go downstairs. Like, yeah. She's like, what? And I'm like, you called me. And she's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, okay. I didn't see anything wrong with this until like my neighbor came over and she was like talking about it. And she's like, oh yeah, like I used to hear my dad calling my name, but he's dead. So, but I used to hear him calling my name, like as if like to come to him, but he's dead. And she's like, so sometimes when you hear somebody like your mom calling you, it might not be your mom. It might just be. it might just be. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, time out.
She's like, it might just be.
Oh, time out really fucking quickly. No. You ain't finna. No. No.
Yes.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Caroline, no one could look me dead in their face and be like, yeah, no, like, sometimes I hear my dad, call me. He's dead. I don't like, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house. What the fuck type of, get the fuck up.
They'd be like, yeah, I realized that it's probably not my dad either. It's probably something else that knows what my dad sounded like, because my dad wouldn't call me. Like,
I would have told them to get the fuck out of my house. I said, you take what the fuck you just brought in here and bring that shit with you. What the fuck you mean your daddy dead and your dead daddy calling you? Bitch, get the fuck out of my, stop playing with me.
Yeah. So then
out.
And then after that, like I would be like, I would be like, are you calling me? Like I'll call like over the banister to make sure she was calling me and be like, she's like, yeah. But yeah, I don't like that. But I wasn't that like scared. I wasn't that scared until she like said what it was, and I was like, this might not be my mom calling me. It might be something else, And then the next story that I have is actually like, I remember we were at, this is like now takes place in Miami. My younger sister, mind you, my great uncle.
You have to say which sister.
Mariah.
Okay.
My great uncle.
Sorry. She has too many fucking
my younger
siblings
sister underneath
where
me.
she goes, younger sister. And I'm like, you have Nicole, you have Malia, you have fucking
Brianna.
Brianna's your older sister.
Yes.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
I told you about her before.
I don't work. You have 10 of them.
Yeah, that's true. But
how the fuck am I? Okay. When I go, yeah, my little sister, you know it's Gabby.
Yeah,
you know it's Gabby.
Yeah.
You said younger sister, like you don't have 3 fucking younger sisters.
Yeah. Anyways.
Fucking can't stand you.
I just remember like I remember being out in the living room, and mind you, my great uncle used to live at that house, at my grandma's house, before he passed away. And I remember I was out in the living room, and I just remember my sister, like it was kind of like the sun was going down, so it was getting a little darker. Mind you, also in the room that we were staying in, like it turned into like our room, but like that's also where he used to stay. It was like in the kind of like in the back, and then it had like mirrors, like one wall was just mirrors, and then the bed was facing the mirrors. Right. So then I remember being out in the living room.
No, I'm okay. I don't like mirrors. I don't like mirrors facing beds. That scares me.
Yeah, and it's still like that to this day. Actually, it's just like a wall. It's like because it's a closet, so it's like a closet door, and then it's like it slides open, but the whole closet door is mirrors, so the whole wall is just mirrors.
No,
like two like.
I physically scare myself because like when I move in the bed, I'm gonna think something else moved instead of me moving, and I'm just gonna sit there like, well. I'm dead now. So what else am I supposed to do?
So I remember I was sitting out in the living room. I don't know what we were doing. Like everybody was kind of out in the living room doing whatever they were doing. My sister went into the room, and I just remember her screaming, and like she comes running back out. She's like, "Oh my god, I saw a hand in the dark, and it's gonna turn the light off after I was in the room." And we're like, "What is she talking about?" So we all like go to the room and we like turn on the lights, and we're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's like, "No, someone turned the light." And we're like, "What?" And she's like, so she was saying like when she finally calmed down because she was very startled.
Yeah.
She was like, I came into the room to get something, and in the mirror I saw a hand come from the shadow and turn the light off. Like somebody's hand in the mirror, I saw it turning the light off. And we were like, oh, okay. And then my grandma's like, oh no, like who did that? Guys, who did that? Like it was probably one of your sisters. It was probably one of your sisters.
Is that Grandma Daphne?
Yes.
Okay.
So my grandma, she was like, we're all just like, she's like, oh, it was probably just somebody one of your sisters, playing a trick on you. She's like, no, it was like an old hand. It was like an old man's hand. It was an old man. And we're just like, she's like, no, it's probably just, and we're like, okay. So she's like, who did it? And we're all just like, girl, we was sitting out in the living room. I'm sure you saw
me.
I'm like, you saw me. We was outside. So, right. So like, I know I was a little startled because I was like, well, we gotta sleep here tonight. Like,
What
do you mean? What did you see? Like, that's crazy. So then, my grandma, she finally like came to the conclusion, like, oh, it's probably your grandpa. Your grandpa probably like was just turning off the light, and he didn't like, know that you were in there. And so that's kind of like where we left it, but we just never picked it up. And I remember my grandma being like, oh, that used to be where your Uncle Fitz used to sleep. Like, I remember her saying that, like, she was telling it to like my dad or something like that, but she was whispering it so that my sister couldn't hear. But I was sitting there just like, okay.
Fucking activate Tina real quick.
Yeah. So those are my like only like 2 ghost stories, and they're like very like minimal because I really don't fuck with ghosts. I tell them leave me the fuck alone. Don't come near me.
Don't bring that shit.
Don't bring that shit around me. Get the fuck away from me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I'm a hurt a ghost feeling. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I will tell you. You're fucking ugly. Get out my face. You look disgusting. You look gross. Why would I want you near me?
Oh my.
Like, me and the ghost are gonna get into it. Bet. Like, stop playing with me. Don't come in my face. I'm not even playing with you right now. I will banish you to hell right now. Stop playing with me.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
got hot.
Got a little hot, yeah, but I don't play with that shit. Don't come near me. Stop it right now.
That's crazy.
You better stop. I'm not playing with you.
That's
stop
crazy.
It.
I have 2. Both of them scared me beyond repair. So I'm gonna preface this really quickly before I get into the story. So when I was a kid, I was very curious about everything. Like, I'm just a naturally curious person. Like, my nana would joke and be like, hey, curiosity killed the cat, like, you better be careful, and I never understood what she meant by that until I start falling down deep, like, I still fall down deep rabbit holes where I'm like, damn, this is knowledge, like, I'm gonna learn and never be able to like come back from this. So when we came back from Jamaica, we lived in New York with my nana. And while we lived there, I was very much obsessed with Travel Channel, Discovery Channel, and Animal Planet. Those are like my 3 go-tos.
Yeah.
Like, those 3 all repeat. So it's like after Disney, after Nick, after Cartoon Network, I was like, girl, I'm a big girl. I'm gonna start watching Travel Channel and Animal Planet and Discovery Channel. Those were like the 3.
Yeah.
So I started watching those. On Travel Channel, they would have paranormal investigators. They had one called The Haunting or Most Haunted or some shit like. I think it was Most Haunted, and it was like a BBC haunting. So it's like they're in England. Everyone has an English accent. They're going to like really old castles the same and
channel
stuff
with like the mermaid.
That is Yep, that is
like that
Travel Channel used to do shit like that. Then Animal Planet used to have Finding Bigfoot.
They made mermaids scary though.
That's what they're
they're not actually scary like that, right?
Oh, I believe they are.
They got pretty shiny tails and they're
I think
nice
they have
and
pretty shiny tails. I just don't think they're pretty.
And they got normal looking hands and not those claws.
I don't think so. It's okay, babes. I want that for you though.
Yeah.
Like, if you become a mermaid, I want you to be a pretty mermaid.
Yeah. I want to be like Ariel. I don't want to be
like a pretty mermaid. Yeah.
I don't want to be like the one in the documentary. They were ugly.
They are ugly.
Yeah.
But you're not. So you're not gonna be.
Thanks.
So. Thanks. Hey, you're not gonna be. No. Those are just ugly people. That's what happened.
Yeah, they were the ugly mermaids. Y'all couldn't catch the goo.
They can't, because you know what happens. Ugly people want connections. They want to feel something. So
That's true.
So what they finna do? Come up to the surface.
They say, you know what? I do need to be on TV. Maybe then.
They're like, I need someone to validate me. And then we all say, oh, you're fucking ugly.
Even ugly up here. Oh. You ever watch Norbit? That's an ugly black baby.
That's what we have to watch too. No, so like I was watching those shows, and those, like, especially Travel Channel used to go so deep into like mermaids and Loch Ness monsters and Bigfoot and like and the Jersey Devil and like all those cryptids. Those are called cryptids, right? And then Animal Planet had Finding Bigfoot, and I was so obsessed with Finding Bigfoot. I was like, ooh, we gonna find Bigfoot. And it was always in Florida. I never realized that it was Florida, but it was always in Florida. And I remember the time when my mom told me, she was
how
like,
Bigfoot in Florida? Ain't he in the mountains? Ain't he in the trees?
He moved. They be like, oh,
how do you hide Bigfoot in the Everglades?
The funniest part is they were like, oh, Bigfoot has a migration like pattern, kind of like how animals have actual migration patterns where like they go and they do other shit. They said that Bigfoot has one, so he like travels all these fucking states type shit. So it was like, oh, at that time,
you don't even got a car.
No, why would he have a car?
Because like Bigfoot is like a big old man but with hair. So it's like how does he travel that far?
by
that fast?
By land, by feet.
Does he run like a dog?
I don't know. I don't
know.
I don't fucking know Bigfoot.
If it's just bipedal, he's just moving. He's just walking. He's walking through all of those states.
Okay.
You know how big the United States are?
Yes, but we're saying like that was the thing. Like we were trying to say that like that's what they were saying. Okay, I don't believe it. I think they were just trying to ham it up because it's Animal Planet, and they were like, we have to really make this seem like an actual thing.
Documentary.
So like
we have to their money.
We have to use actual things that animals use and put it to like this thing that does not exist. Because I don't believe Bigfoot exists. Like when I was younger, you could not tell me he didn't.
Right.
I don't believe he exists now. I grew up and realized. My frontal lobe.
How is he walking through all these states just on his 2 feet?
It just didn't make sense.
No car.
And no one's seen him.
No bike.
No one's still seen him.
Not even a scooter?
Bro, I've seen too many people's assholes on the internet. You tell me I can't find one Bigfoot?
Right.
Unsolicited asshole seeing.
No, really.
That one man that shaved his asshole
We've
on
seen
YouTube.
real UFOs at this point, so where's
exactly.
Bigfoot?
Where is he at?
Where's Bigfoot?
Exactly. Anyway, so he was in Florida. He was actually in the Everglades. And I remember I watched like the whole entire thing. They were running and trying to find him. And they can't find him. Blah, blah, blah. Like they were hamming it up.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, shortly after that, she was like, "Oh, we're moving to Florida." I said, "Where Bigfoot at?" Bitch, they got Bigfoot down there. Hold on, time out. They got Bigfoot down there.
Yeah.
I didn't even care about no fucking alligators or snakes. She was like, "Kimmy, they have worse things than that." I said, "They got Bigfoot. What's worse than Bigfoot?" But I was always obsessed with stuff like that and the creepy and the weird or whatever. So I've always been obsessed with shit like that. But it also still scares me. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, it's like a weird, morbid curiosity. My scary story to tell in the dark, my ghost story, is me, my mom, and my sister went to Benihana one time. Right? I forgot when. I keep fucking hitting this goddamn mic with my lip. I don't know when we went, but we went to Benihana's. Like I can't remember exactly when, but we usually try to go for like my mom's birthday or whatever. But we went. This was when Gabby was relatively young. She's probably like 7 or 8 years old, right? Gabby, the Gabby you know now was not the Gabby that was back then. Gabby used to have her hair always braided,
right?
So it'd be like in a ponytail in the back and then braids down, right? Gabby. Sometimes on special occasions my mom would let Gabby's hair out, so she'd do like a half up half down because Gabby has really big curly hair, like really big pretty hair, right? So my mom would do that for special occasions, right? This time after we went to Benihana's, I went to my mom's room, right? And this is like right before like a Saturday. Like I felt like it was a Friday, so I felt like it was like a Saturday, so we're like winding down. I told my mom like, "Okay mom, I'm gonna go into the room, like good night, whatever." And she's like, "Okay, good night." Right, so the way how it was set up, it was like my mom's room, a little hallway that goes down into our living room, and then just into our bedroom. Like that's literally it, just like her room, a little hallway. That little hallway, you could go into her bathroom, and then you come down a little bit. Right, she had a chair there, and we had a mirror in that little hallway because that little hallway was in the living room, and that little hallway was straight across, and you had the mirror, and then you had the couch. Right, so you know I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I see Gabby, like a Gabby with her hair out, and she's wearing a velvet top, and everyone knows like this like kind of like Christmas like dress because it was around, because my mother and Gabby are born in December, so usually it's like you know like that Christmassy time where people wear that, right? Like the velvet top with the red and like the red plaid skirt, right? And I see Gabby put her hands on my back and she's jumping. She's just jumping because I see her hair go up and down, up and down. Yeah. And I'm walking and I literally go, "Gabby, I said not to." And I literally turned around. Nobody behind me. I'm like, huh? No, like, and I turn back and I look in the mirror and I'm like, Gabby was just behind me. So then I run into, like, not run, but like I go into our room because I was like, where the fuck is Gabby at? So I go into our room. Gabby's hair is braided. And she's in like a blue top and jeans. Her hair is not out. She's not wearing a black fucking top or the goddamn red plaid dress. Like the crushed, like I said, right? I go into my mother's room and I said, "Mom, I just seen this." Like I said, right, Mom, Mom, I'm scared as shit because what the fuck was that? Because I felt the hands on me. I felt the pressure. Oh,
you actually? Oh,
yes. No. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's why it fucked me up. That's why it fucked me up more.
Absolutely touching me.
Yeah, bro. No, it was so bad because like I said, arms on me, like hands on me, jumping.
No,
I didn't see the face. I just seen the hair, and it was even crazier because I told my mom, I said I could see the clothing, because I could see the on her arm the black velvet, like the black crushed velvet, like shirt, and I could see the red plaid dress jumping up and down. And I thought Gabby was in a dress because Gabby sometimes would wear a dress. But when I went to that room, Gabby was not wearing a dress. She was wearing jeans and a fucking t-shirt, and her hair was braided. And that's what fucking got me. When I seen her hair was braided, I was like, so who the fuck was that? So I ran back into my mama's room. I said, Mom, this is what the fuck I just seen. And my mom was like, oh. I said, oh. She's like,
this shit was touching me.
I literally said, I was like, Mom, like what? And she's like, oh, well, I don't know, Kimmy. Like maybe she's like, your imagination could be playing with you, or you actually saw something. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like she because my mom is kind of like, not like she doesn't believe it. She definitely believed it, but she's just like, I don't know how to help you process this. So I was like, it was touching me. It was touching me. I was like, it was touching me. I said, okay. And my mom was like, so what else did you see? And I was like, I told her exactly word for word, bar for bar, what the fuck I just seen. And she was just like, oh, I don't know, maybe it was a little girl. Like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, it was a little girl. And I thought she was 6. I literally thought Gabby was 6 at the time. And when I went to the room, Gabby was not 6. And it clicked. The minute I seen Gabby, like everything clicked. And I was just like,
Gabby's not that age anymore.
She's not that. Yeah. She's not small like that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, because the little girl, when she was jumping, I just seen her hair. So I was like, oh, she's not tall enough for me to see her face. I didn't see her face. I just seen her hair bounce. And I seen the skirt bounce. Yeah, that shit scared me, bro.
No.
You thought I reacted, bitch? No. I didn't sleep that night. I ain't sleep that night.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry.
I did not sleep that night. I don't even know
if I want to hear your second story, because that one was enough for me. That one touching me. You're touching me.
You're touching me.
You're touching me. You're touching me. Oh, absolutely not. Oh, absolutely not. Do not touch me.
That is so funny.
I don't even know how to process this, and it didn't happen to me, but I'm creeped out right now.
Yeah, because you imagine it. Because you can imagine it. Because I literally thought I thought it was Gabby, yo. And then when I went to that room, like I ran to the room and I seen that it was not her, I said, so how do I deal with this?
Oh, hell no.
How do I deal with this?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, how do I deal with this?
Oh, hell no.
I don't know how to deal with that.
That shit is terrifying.
I don't even know how to deal with it to this day. I
might cry.
That's what he's fuck. I might cry.
That's too scary for me.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I tell the ghost not to fucking touch me. I would have swung. Me being the ghost. Get the fuck on the ground, bitch. Get down.
Let him get up. Let him get up. Let him get up.
No, bitch.
No. Let him get up. Let him get up.
Me and the ghost gonna be tussling. We gonna be both rolling. Fucking ripping up that dress, bitch.
Bro, when I turned around and nobody was there, I said,
it'd be a series of Bad Girls Club. The camera crew come out of, hold on, get her.
No,
you better get your bitch off me. Get her off me.
Kind of like in fuck that Marlon Wayne's
scary movie.
Yeah, not the scary movie, but it was like the other one it was like haunted. It was like Paranormal Activity or black whichever that was. Yeah. It's like that where she started beating up that fucking
get into a fight with a ghost. Yeah,
yes,
like, bro, that's too much.
I think the other one, I don't know, the other one could be scary. I don't think so. It's not like the first one. The first one that one fucked me up. That first one fucked me up. That first one really did fuck me up.
But I know there's like a thing called like mimic spirits, and they like mimic people that you know, like the thing where they like where what I was saying, where like they'll call from like your mom's voice or whatever to try to get you to come to them.
No, but those are like demons. That thing that I seen,
that was what, a demon?
I don't think it was a demon.
That was a demon.
I think it was a ghost. Because the thing is, I sat there and I described it to my mom, and my mom goes, Gabby never wore anything like that ever. Because by that time that Gabby was born, it was technically out of style for Christmas. Like, it was out of style to wear the black top with the plaid
right, and
skirt.
Like stockings.
Even, with the stockings. Because she had the stockings, and she even had, like, black ballerina shoes. And she had a bow on it. And I remember seeing all of this, bro. Like, I could tell what the fuck that little girl was wearing. For, like, head to toe. I don't know her face. Her face just was, I don't think it was there. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Next story. Because I can't keep thinking about it, because I'm going to go to sleep.
Stop.
Okay, I might not even watch this episode. I might not even edit it. I don't know.
I'll edit it for you if you're that scared. If you're that scared, I'll edit it for you. I'll come over to your house and edit it.
I might just have to mute us, and then I just cut, and then I hope for the best, guys. I don't know if y'all hearing this.
Whatever. I'll come over.
That's terrifying.
If you're that scared, I'll try to edit it. I'll go to your house and edit it for you.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you when it's over.
Next story, please.
Okay, next story actually happened when I was here.
Mm-hmm. No, don't. Actually, I don't know if I want to hear that.
Okay. So because I have two words. Like I have one that was here, and I have one that was at my old place. Because I was at the old place that I was at. So
okay.
Oh no, the one here was
bad.
It was kind of scary.
Okay.
You're so apprehensive.
No, because remember earlier I was like, "Bro, there's a ghost in here."
I was joking. You were so joking.
I was joking. I was
and
like,
now you're
"There's
scared."
a ghost in here.
A little ghosty.
Now I'm like,
little ghosty. Yeah, no. Now there is a little ghost. Ooh, no, I'm joking. No.
You know what? Tell whichever one you want, but just know that I'm leaving after this. Shut up. No. Continue.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell this one really quickly because I really want to read the story.
Okay.
Because the story is really good.
Okay.
So there was a time. Okay, so it was when I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby, where the fuck was Gabby at? I'm not sure if Gabby was sleeping over at one of her friends' house or if she was on some kind of tournament or something like that. But Gabby wasn't home. My mom wasn't home for the weekend either. Like my mom, I think went to like her boyfriend's house or some shit like that. Or they both went up for the tournament. I just remember I was by myself in the house.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, you know what? I'm by myself for like this weekend. I'm gonna start like washing some clothes or whatever. So I like went to go wash clothes, right? So I have my I literally like start packing up like my clothes or whatever to do that, and crystal clear as day. It's nighttime now. It's like nighttime. I'm getting my shit ready, right? Crystal clear as day. I hear like a man's voice go, "Hello," and I was like, "Hello." Hello, right? And it was crazy because it was like hello, but since I'm in here, it was out in the living room,
right?
And I heard it in the living room, and I heard it crystal clear. Like
no.
So my initial reaction, I said hello. What? Like hello?
It was a maintenance man. It was a maintenance man. Please say it was a maintenance man. It was a maintenance.
No. I open up the door.
You go all the way out there.
Yeah, because I had the lights on.
Oh, okay.
Because when I'm home by myself, I usually have all the lights on, so it's like less scary.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the fuck was that, right? So I go out there, I start looking because I'm like, hold on, if someone's trying to rob me, I gotta know, like I gotta be prepared, whatever. So I'm like going through the house, went through like to my mom's bed, like my mom's bedroom, was going through all of that. While I'm in her bedroom, I hear it again, and it goes, "Hello," and I was like,
"Sir, you need to go wherever you're going."
I said,
"You need to go wherever you're going."
I literally looked up at the ceiling like, is it my neighbors upstairs? Like, are they home? Like, what the fuck? So who do I call? Jamal. I immediately call him. I said, I don't know if I'm tripping or not. I said, I need you to stay on the phone with me right now. I said, I'm very much scared. He was like, what the fuck happened? I said, I heard a hello in my living room, and it sounded like a man, like someone was sitting right in my fucking living room saying hello. He was like, oh, okay. I said, I need you to stay on the phone with me until I don't feel scared. Okay.
I don't like that my back is exposed right now. I just feel so vulnerable.
You know what's even funnier? Because like I literally like go outside because at that time we had like a lot of people living upstairs. Like they were like college students, whatever. So they were living upstairs. So I literally walked outside and I was looking for their cars and everything. I was looking to see where the fuck they were. I'm like, no, there was a man somewhere. There's a man somewhere. Because if someone's walking their dog, and they're talking on the phone late at night, you can't hear them crystal clear. Like they're in here. So I was like, no. Maybe Kimmy's tripping. Maybe they're outside. Maybe they're somewhere. Nobody.
But then it's like, why just say hello? Like if it's like
hello twice.
Walking, if you're
hello
like walking,
twice.
It's like, if they see you and they're like being like hello.
Yeah, like bro, that's what I mean. I stayed on the phone with Jamal for like 2 hours. It got to a point where I like ended up washing my clothes. I closed this bedroom door and I stayed in here until fucking morning because I was like, I'm not coming out there. I don't know what that nigga. It got to the point I heard the washer stop and I said that bitch gonna be for the morning. For the morning, I'm gonna dry them bitches in the morning. I'm not coming back out there. I literally stayed. I was so scared because I was like, what the fuck was that? So for the point where my upstairs neighbors weren't there because late, like when I was like trying to like get myself like, you know, calm myself down, I heard them go upstairs. So I was like, so no one was upstairs,
right?
What the fuck? Who the fuck said hello twice like that? Yeah, it scared me, but it didn't scare me like that bad. Like the first one scared me.
I'm terrified. Yeah, that first one was enough.
First one was kind of scary.
That second one too, but like, why? Like, hello? Like, hello what? Hello? Hello what?
Bitch, you just want to fight somebody so bad. That's all you want to do. Nah, put your settle. Throw your fucking settle.
No.
Throw your settle.
You should have passed on earlier, nigga.
Wrong house, bitch.
Nah, I got you in a chokehold. Now you can ask the questions, huh?
They'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah, so those are like my two. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have another one.
Okay.
But it's not scary.
Okay.
It's not scary. I actually, this one brings tears to my eyes because it's very sweet.
Okay.
It's actually very sweet. So my grandpa, the one that raised my mom, we call him Pampa, or I called him Pampa because I couldn't say grandpa. So Pampa passed away really early, when I was really early, like when I was 7 possibly. Gabby, or no, I think I was 8 and Gabby was just about to turn 1 and that's when he passed away. Fun fact, the apartment complex we live in, he actually used to live here before he died. He actually lived in the other one, right, like on the other side. He lived in the same apartment complex, just on the other side. Like we literally see the building and everything. The first year that we lived here, for his birthday, we bought like balloons and we were like, oh, like happy birthday, Pampa, and we let the balloons up when we first moved in here. It was really cute. Before that, when I said I was gonna do film for real, or when I was like, oh, I'm gonna turn my life around and do fucking film, I had this dream. I'm gonna try not to cry because it's really emotional. Yeah. I had this dream where my Pampa was alive, and it was our old house, and he was sitting there, and it was Christmas time because the Christmas tree was up. It was him, it was my Nana, it was Auntie Susu, Auntie Saya, Gabby, and AJ. And we're just like all sitting on the couch, like kind of like one side of the couch. We're all sitting in, like 8 people are sitting on the floor and whatever. And we're all like, I opened up it's like, I remember sleeping and I woke up because I heard everyone laughing, and I opened up the door, and he made a joke like, oh, like you're finally up, like you're always sleeping, whatever, right? In the same dream, we cut back to where it's just me, Gabby, and AJ. So it's just all his grandkids, and I'm trying so hard not to cry. Yeah, it spoke to me.
I have a similar dream though.
Yeah, it spoke to me. So we're sitting there and we're on the couch and we're talking, and one of the things that mom used to always say is that like she really wished that me and Gabby kind of like grew up with him, because she's like, damn, you guys have so much similar likes. Like he used to love movies and just watch movies all the time, and he would always go to the movie theaters, even if it's by himself. He'd always go to the movie theaters just to watch shit. And it's like me and Gabby, that's our whole fucking personality. Yeah. And so me and him are sitting on the couch. Gabby's playing with like AJ on the floor. AJ was younger at this time, and he was like probably 1 or 2, or I can't really remember. But so me and Pampa were talking, and we're just talking about TV shows that I like and films that I like, and we're just joking and we're laughing. And he was just like, oh, like it was like a really good heartfelt feeling. And it was a lot because I was like, wow, it just felt so warm and so cozy, and it just felt natural. Right. And it was such a weird thing because it's like when he passed away, I couldn't remember him because we didn't spend that much time with him. So it's so weird that me and him were just talking about films in depth, and I love movies and stuff. And he was just like, oh, you know, he kind of said something along the lines of like, you should do film. Like, you should really make movies. Like, that'd be so cool if you made movies. Like, you know, because like I'm telling him behind the scenes and stuff. He was like, I don't even know about all this behind the scenes. Like, he's like, yeah, you should do it because he's like, you're so passionate. You love it. Just do it. Right. And this is the part where I always cry at, and I hate this part. Then I actually woke up from like that sweet ass dream. I woke up. I hear. Get together. I hear noise in the living room, and I'm thinking he's there, right? And I open the door, and I just see Gabby sitting there on the living room couch by herself, watching God knows what on the TV. And then it like hit me, right, that he's dead. Yeah. And then like I ran to my mom's room and I start bawling, and I was crying hysterically. My mom was scared because she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you just were asleep. Yeah. Why the fuck are you crying? Yeah. And I told her about the dream, and I was like, no, like I said it felt real. Like I felt like he was right here, Mom. Yes. Like he was right here. Like what happened? Like, where did he go? Like, I literally kept telling him, I was like, where'd he go? Like, he was right here, Mom. He was right here. And she was like, damn, like, that really breaks my heart, because she was like, you really would have loved him. She was like, you really would have loved him, Kimmy. She was like, the way how you talk about film or whatever. And then, you know, and then like literally later, probably like a week later, I was like, no, I'm gonna do film.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it must have been him reaching out to tell me,
letting
like,
you know that that's the path you need to go down.
Yeah, just do it. Like, he was just like, you have to do it. Like, every time I think about that dream, it makes me cry, because it's like,
it feels so real.
It felt too fucking real.
Yeah.
Like, the way how I was like sitting there, and I was like, bro, he's in the, I said it to myself when I woke up. I said, Pompa's in the living room. And when I opened the door and I seen Gabby's ugly ass sitting on the fucking couch, it's like,
how she catch a stray?
I gotta make myself laugh somehow. I got some fucking crying. No, but like, seriously,
but I understand what you mean by it felt so
like,
real.
It felt like I lost him.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I didn't like, when I actually lost him, I was too young. I didn't understand, and I didn't hang out with him that often, because he lived in Florida, I lived in New York, so it was like we were never always in the same place.
Right.
But that moment, I was like, damn, it felt like I missed out on so much, because he's dead.
Right.
So trust me, that was a dream where I was like, no, he definitely like reached out to me and was just like,
I gotta lead her somewhere. I gotta tell her where she has to go before I go.
I think yeah, that's literally what it felt like. Like, it felt like he just knew I was so lost,
right?
And was just like, look, you're so lost, but I'm still here for you, and you need to go here. So it's like, I even told Mom and I told Gabby, I was like, yo, if I ever like win an Oscar, he would be in my like
speech.
He'd be in my speech, because like, nah, you really like. He, in a weird way, he really did push me.
Yes.
Where it was just like, nah, he like, it's weird that he's dead, but I feel like he'd be proud.
Right.
To know that him, who loves movies so much that he'd go by himself to watch movies, watch them on repeat. Mom even says the way how me and Gabby sometimes talk about movies or can quote movies, she's like, it reminds her of him, because that's how he was. So I was like, it's crazy that, you know, he died before we moved.
Really? Yeah.
He died, I think, like a month or two before we like actually made the move to Florida. Right. And Mom said the last conversation she had with him is how he was so excited that we were moving.
Oh.
So like, it hurts more, obviously, for her, because you know. But like, that was the time I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I know what you mean by like, it felt so real, because I had a dream like that about my grandma, where it was like
Miss Daphne.
Yes.
I love her name.
That's her middle name though.
It's her middle name? What's her real name?
Joan.
Her first name?
Her first name is Joan Daphne.
Joan?
Joan? Yes.
Oh, Joan.
Yes,
sorry.
What did you think I was saying?
Jone. I was like, like the last name Joan?
No, like Joan. Yeah. But I had like around the same dream, because she passed my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was just kind of, I was in disbelief. I you know how I be a little delusional. I was like, no, she's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I was like, no. The way that life works out, like she's gonna make a floor cover. She's gonna be perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Like, no, like she passed very, very quickly. Like, it was like the cancer just like took over, and she just like, first she was fine, and then, you know, she just went very, very fast. So I kind of obviously I felt like we were kind of like twins. Like, we were like, oh, we had so many similarities. I looked the most like her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were both born in July. Like, we had a lot of similarities together. And so when she passed, I was just kind of like, it was kind of like shocking. It was just like like, I don't know how to process this. I obviously did cry a lot, but I was like, I don't know how to process this. And I was like, I think what my questions was just like is she okay? Like, cause you know, cause I know she was in pain, like, and you know, from all like the treatment and everything that ended up happening. So, I remember I had went to sleep, like, this is like months after her funeral or whatever. And I remember I went to sleep, and I had a dream that I woke up at her house, and we were all like, it was like we were all like having dinner, like we're all sitting around the table, everybody's like walking around, like my dad's there, my sister's there, like my grandpa's there, everybody's just having fun. She's standing there at the dining table, and she's like just in her like house dress how she usually was, and she was just like, I remember I was like sitting there eating some food or whatever, and she's sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and everything's fine, everything's like yellow and like bright and it's like so like warm, and I was like, this, it felt like a normal day, like, and I was like, and I was sitting there, and I was like, no, I said, I told her, I was looking at her, and I was like, you're not supposed to be here. And I was like, no, you died. And she was like, And she's like, do I look like I died? She's like, do I look like I'm hurt? Like, do I look like I'm not okay?
Yeah.
And she was like, and my grandma couldn't dance.
Wow, Miss Daphne catching it straight. That's fucking crazy.
She was a terrible dancer, but like she just starts dancing. Like she's like, do I look like I'm not okay?
That is like, something you would so do. Do I
look like I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like I knew like then I was like, she's good. Like she's good.
She's okay.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
I was like, no matter what, she's fine. And so I told my dad that too, because I was like, I feel like he needed that closure to know that she was okay. And then he said too, like she came to him in dreams too. My younger sister Mariah, she was like, well, she never came to me in a dream. I was like, girl, you were terrified. Like she knows not to do that because you
Mariah would wake up and be like, ah!
Mariah was not fucking with that shit. The whole hand thing too. I was like, honestly, I said, grandma knew. Grandma said she knew. She knew that you would not take that well. So she's like, but that doesn't mean that she didn't love you just as much, or she didn't want to, so.
Yeah, because I remember when Pampa passed away, I felt very weird because I felt like everybody was getting little signs or whatever that he's okay, right. And I was just like,
what about
me? Yeah. I was like, damn, like what about me? Like
right.
what about me? Because I remember like one time my mom, I forgot what my mom was going through. I don't know what the fuck she was going through, but my mom said that like something was happening. I can't remember what was happening. I think she was like having a panic attack, high key. And she said she ended up like coming to like me and Gabby's room with like the hum of like, she said she came into our room and just kind of like sat there, and she said she was like like just mindlessly watching the TV, like not really paying attention. And she said she heard snoring. And she was like, who in the fuck is snoring? And she said the way how it was like the person was snoring,
right,
it reminded her of Pampa. So she's like, oh, she's like, yeah, she's like, your guys is such a weird safe haven. Like she's like, if you guys ever feel like he's never with you guys, he's always with you guys. Right. Cause she was like, every time I go into your guys' room, it's a weird, calming, like safe haven type beat. She's like, the way how he was snoring, she said the way how the person was snoring, she was like, who the fuck is snoring? She even like looked at me and Gabby, and it was just like, both of us are completely quiet children, and she's like, it was Pampa, like that was snoring so loud, because she's like, he used to snore so loud you could hear it from the other side of the house. And she was just like, what the fuck? And so she said, like, she'd have those moments and she'd hear him, and she'd be like, yeah, like you guys is like, she's like, he definitely loves you and protects you guys. So it was just like, it's one of those things where it's like, damn, like why don't I have one? Like why don't I see it? Why don't I feel him? Like why don't I? And then when I had that, I was like, oh my, like that was like
he probably dead ass heard you.
He was like,
oh, okay. He was like, I gotta go visit my granddaughter. He probably
was so disappointed in me dating that incel, where he was like, he said, I can't have my grandbaby go out like this. Stand up, get up, stand up.
Yeah,
had to be, because I'm not even kidding you. The way how after that dream, everything fell for me.
Right,
like that was when I was like, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing it. Like, I like gotta break up with you. Can't talk to you because you're not my friend. Guys, cut everybody off. Like that was, and that was like 2020. So like 2020 was that year where I cut everybody off, because it was like, no, if you don't serve me, because my Pampa came to me in my dream and was like, get the fuck up,
get up,
you got shit to do.
Yeah. But do you want to?
Yes, now it's time.
Story.
Yeah, it's time for spooky stories to tell in the dark. I'm also very, really quickly, I'm also very happy that your grandma did that for you. I'm happy.
No, really,
because because anytime when you do talk about her in passing, you always are like, oh yeah, that's my twin. Like she's like my twin or whatever. And I was like, damn, like I can't, in a weird way, I can't imagine being close to somebody like that and losing them. Like I haven't had that yet, and it's like I just don't know how I'd process it. I'm not sure if I'll just ignore it, kind of like, well, then it happened. Like, it's like I haven't had like that. So
for me, it was just like a weird delusion.
I was like,
nah.
Like
I was like, no.
I was like my mother. My mom still has not fully processed that Pampa has passed away. She's like, oh no, I think he's in another state. Like he's just in another state. I can't call.
Far away,
she literally she because I told her, I said, so have you processed his death? And she goes, no. And I was like, oh wow. And she's like, I just think he's in another state, and I just can't call him right now.
Right.
And I was like, wow. That's her.
In my mind, I'm like, telepathically, when I go to sleep, if she needs me, she knows how to get me. She knows how to reach me.
Call me, like, if you want to reach
me. Yeah, like that's kind of like how I imagine it. Like I didn't want nothing to do with anything in regards to. I just couldn't, like, they're like, oh, do you want to visit her? And I'll be like, okay, but like, not really. Like, I didn't know how to really.
I feel like
deal with it.
I
was just like,
I feel like in a weird way, I probably would have to collect something from the person that's dead and just keep it with me. So it's like I feel like they're there,
right?
Because death is such a weird thing where it's like once they're dead, they're gone. Like, and it's like that same, especially if you're used to seeing them and stuff like that. It's really weird to be like, well,
and we were always at every Saturday and Sunday. It was my grandma's day. Like, you have to go over there.
Yeah, I mean, like, you told the story of your grandma snatching you from them two poor little girls. So it's like I can imagine she was definitely very much involved in y'all's life. She was just like, no, that's my grandbaby.
That's my grandbaby.
That one.
Yeah.
That black baby.
Yeah.
Don't look at me that. Yeah. So I'm glad that she did that. I'm glad that it was some kind of closure.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
that's, like, hey girl.
She's like, do I look like I'm dead? She said, hey, throw it back one time for the hey. She said, wait, shake that ass for me. Now shake that ass for Drake. Not for Drake. We don't fuck with Drake no more. Anyways. Alrighty, guys. It's time to get scared.
Okay.
It's time to get scared.
Being sad and scared is like a crazy ride.
It is, isn't it? But hey, that's life. That's life.
So is life.
Okay, so this one is a very popular one. I remember reading this on the creepypasta I think it was .us or .com. Creepypasta, y'all know if y'all know, that's where Slenderman, Jeff the Killer,
all
that's
those
where
stories came from.
Yeah, kind of like that's where they all went to.
So it's
like people would write them on different like forums, and then it's like
fiction about them.
Basically, people's writing scary fan fiction, and then it all came to Wattpad. You know what I mean? Like, creepypasta was kind of like the Wattpad.
Okay,
where it's like it was a collection. You also have on Reddit, No Sleep Reddit. No Sleep Reddit's scary. I don't like No Sleep Reddit.
Okay,
them bitches be going hard on there. They be like, I 24 male, like I 24 male, and they just like start going down, and they have
a shadow figure following me.
No, it's serious, and then they'll have like pictures and like shit like that because, you know, people are really good with Photoshop and all other shit. They're good. They're scary. They're good. But this is a creepypasta. It is called the Russian Sleep Experiment. Anybody who knows, okay? Because I remember when I first read this, I thought it was real. I did not know it was fake.
Okay.
Because it had pictures.
Okay.
So I thought it was real. So here we go. Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books and cots to sleep on, but no bedding, as well as running water, a toilet, and enough dry food to last all 5 for over a month. Okay, that's the setting. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised falsely that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past. The general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. Jesus. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering into the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity, with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was the effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber repeatedly, yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight, at which point he continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about this behavior was how the other captives reacted to it, or rather, didn't react to it. They continued whispering into microphones until the second of the captives started screaming. The 2 non-screaming captives took the books apart, smeared pages after page with their own feces and pasted them calmly over the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering into the microphones. So now they smeared shit and pages onto like the portholes so no one can see inside. And the screaming and whispering stops. So it's now dead silent in this little area. This is after day 9.
Okay. After
3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it impossible that no sound could be occurring with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavy level of strenuous activity, like exercise.
Mm-hmm.
On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the people they were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Stay away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a calm voice respond in a single phrase, "We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphone began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of the loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened and soldiers were sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them in life. The food rations past 5 days had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subject's thigh and chest stuffed into the drain in the center of the chamber, blocking it and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth, as the researchers initially thought. Closer examination of the position and angles of the wounds indicated that most, if not all of them, were self-inflicted. The abdominal organs below the ribcage of all 4 test subjects had been removed. While the heart, lungs, and diaphragm remained in place, the skin and most of the muscles attached to the ribs had been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the ribcage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact but had been taken out and laid on the floor. Fanning out around the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects, the digestive tract of all 4 could be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days. Most of the soldiers were Russian, special operatives at the facility, but still, many refused to return to their chamber to remove the test subjects. The subjects themselves continued to scream to be left in the chamber and begged and demanded that the gas be turned on, lest they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out, and another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their life, if you count the ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and bled out almost immediately. The medical researcher attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs and arm of one of the doctors. His heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he bled out, to the point there was no more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack anyone in reach, just repeating the word "more" over and over, weaker and weaker, until he finally fell silent. The surviving 3 test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility. The 2 with intact vocal cords continuously begging for gas, demanding to be kept awake. The most injured of the 3 was taken to only the surgical operating room that the facility had. In the process of preparing the subject to have his organs placed back within his body, it was found that he was effectively immune to the sedative they had given him to prepare him for surgery. He fought furiously against his restraint when the anesthetic gas was brought out to put him under. He managed to tear most of the way through a 4-inch wide leather strap on one wrist, even through the weight of a 200-pound soldier holding that wrist. It took only a little more anesthetic than normal to put him under, and the instant his eyes fluttered closed, his heart stopped. In the autopsy of the test subject that died on the operating table, it was found that his blood had tripled the normal level of oxygen. The muscles that were still attached to his skeleton were badly torn, and he had broken 9 bones in his struggle not to be subdued. Most of them were from the force of his own muscles had exerted on them. The second survivor had been the first of the group of the 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed. He was unable to beg or object to surgery. He only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested reluctantly that they should try the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdomen organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon proceeding stated repeatedly that it should not be medically possible for the patient to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had seen the patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met hers. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of Jurassic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write this message. Had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple. Keep cutting. The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anesthetic as well, although they had been injected with a paralytic for the duration of the operation. The surgeon found it impossible to perform the surgery while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralyzed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape their bonds. The moment they speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped out their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas. Only one response was, "I must remain awake." All 3 subjects' restraints were reinforced, and they were placed back into the chamber, awaiting determination as to what should be done with them. The researchers, facing the wrath of their military benefactors for having failed the state's goal of their project, considered you fucking Christ. This is not gonna happen.
Unanimous?
Euthanacy? What the fuck? How I say that word?
Euthanizing.
See, I'm fucking stupid. Whatever. The surviving subjects, the commanding officer, and ex-KGB, instead saw potential and wanted to see what would happen if they were put back on the gas. The researchers strongly objected, but were overruled. In preparation for being sealed in the chamber, the subjects were connected to an EEG monitor and had their restraints padded for long-term confinement. To everyone's surprise, all 3 stopped struggling the moment it was let slip they were going to be back on the glass. It was obvious that at this point, all 3 were putting up a great struggle to stay awake. One of the subjects that could speak was humming loudly and continuously. The mute subject was straining his legs against the leather bonds with all his might, first left, then right, then left again, for something to focus on. The remaining subject was holding his head off his pillow and blinking rapidly, having been the first to be wired to the EEG machine. Most of the researchers were monitoring his brainwaves in surprise. They were normal most of the time, but sometimes flatlined inexplicably. It looked as if he was repeatedly suffering from brain death before returning to normal. As they focused on paper, As they focused on paper scrolling out of the brainwave monitor, only one nurse saw the man's eyes slip shut at the same moment his head hit the pillow. His brainwaves immediately changed to that of a deep sleep, then flatlined for the last time as his heart simultaneously stopped. The only remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed that same flatlines as the one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside as well as the 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes, then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out. He pointed his gun at the remaining subject, still strained at the bed, as the remaining members of the medical and research team fled the room. "I won't be locked in here with these things, not with you," he screamed at the man strapped at the table. "What are you?" he demanded. "I must know." The subject smiled. I'll show you the picture. There's a picture. This picture was famous too. The subject smiled. "Have you forgotten so easily?" the subject asked. "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you, all begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go into a nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." The researcher paused, then aimed at the subject's heart and fired. The EEG flatlined as the subject weakly choked out, "So nearly free." And that's the picture. Yeah.
That's what he was looking like.
Yeah.
Bro, send that to me so I can put it in the edit. I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
That is the Russian sleep experiment. Little 11-year-old Kimmy read that one time and believed it was real.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's fake. It's all fake. I was gonna let you guys know it's all fake.
Good.
Somebody made it up.
The story that you told was scarier than that. I'm sorry. Like,
are you
touching
serious?
me?
We're going back to that.
Touching me? Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. I hope you enjoyed that episode.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know whatever else you want to see. Okay, we're getting ramped up here. Okay.
Yeah.
We're ready to talk about anything. Okay. So just let us know in the comments. Leave a little.
I was like, this recording session, we did do things. We did not do the fan fiction thing. I feel like we should go back to that.
Go back.
I like the fan because we are fangirlies. The fan fiction thing. I like their creepypasta. I like reading that. Because you weren't there with me when I was discovering these things, and I couldn't show this to Gabby because Gabby was too scared. Oh. She would snitch on me. Oh. That bitch would be like, "Mom!" And I'd be like,
Gabby Dinger. Ding.
Ding. Nah, she for real. Gabby would snitch on me. And it's like, I can't.
So she might even skip that part of the video.
No, because the funniest part is I was doing this by myself. Like none of my friends at school were into really creepy shit like that. They were just into makeup. So like while everyone was getting they fucking wing eyeliner down, Kimmy was on creepypasta. Absolutely not. Reading about Slenderman and Russian sleep experiment. Jeff the Killer is actually a funny one. I recently heard someone read the Jeff the Killer one and I thought he was scary when I first read it. And I said, this is written by a child. This is written by a child for children. Like, you tried, babes. You tried. It's okay.
All right. So maybe we'll revisit that again or revisit the fan fiction. If you guys like that, just let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. CNK
signing out.